Welcome back. I'm Annie Nash, and this is my husband and business partner, Craig Nash, with the Unleashed Advisors at eXp Realty. Today, we're here to talk to you about some of the top concerns we hear from our buyer clients and how we can help address those concerns. Welcome, Craig. So, when you're working with a buyer client, what is one of the top things that you hear as a concern from them?
The number one concern that I hear lately is all about finance. What are the interest rates right now? What can I afford in a house? How much am I going to need for a down payment? And all those concerns. So how would you address those concerns when dealing with a buyer?
Right. So, really, before we go looking at houses, we get lenders involved. When they get pre-approved, the lender will help them understand what does their down payment look like. And that all depends on the loan type, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a VA, it could be 100% financed. If you're conventional or FHA, you may have a down payment of some sort. But then there's lender fees. And so the lender will help walk through what that looks like. And then additionally, one of the things that we can help provide is with our preferred attorneys, we've usually got a pricing sheet. So we can give them an idea, maybe not a total breakdown of what their closing costs from the lender will be, or from the attorney will be. But it kind of helps reassure them, okay, here's what your down payment's going to be. Here, you know what approximately your lender fees are going to be. And then the attorney fees, what those are going to be. What are some other costs that might be involved that I'm missing?
Well, it could be, there could be like an appraisal cost. There could be a cost for the repairs and all that kind of stuff. And we really kind of lay that out, right when we first meet with the buyer. We have what we call a home buyer's, roadmap, and we go through it step by step with them. That's to kind of relieve their confusion about the home buying process, and it gives them confidence to buy a home.
Yeah.
So that's very important. What's another thing that we hear a lot about when it comes to?
So one of the things that I hear a lot from my buyer clients is when we're looking at homes and going through, and maybe they've fallen in love with a house, but we're writing up the contract, and you might see something that you're like, that needing a repair, right? So they get concerned about, well, what if we find something wrong with the house? What if during inspections, because I'm telling them, I really highly suggest you have an inspection done so that when you move in, you know exactly what you're getting, or at least as close to it as we can. So how would you address if there are concerns with repairs that might come up?
Well, the first thing is that we do have an inspection done on the houses. We recommend them that they get an inspection, whether it be a termite or just a fine-tooth comb for the entire house. We might bring out a roofer to take a look at the roof, maybe an HVAC expert to look at the whole heating and air system. So it's a matter of actually knowing exactly what they're walking into before they do buy the house. And if there's any major concerns that need to be addressed, we'll do a repair addendum and ask for those to be repaired beforehand, before closing, so that they know they have a nice, reliable home as they're moving forward. The other thing is that we can also get them a home warranty. So that can help in, later on down the line, if something like a refrigerator breaks or the AC breaks, they can call the home warranty company and they can come out and fix that for a nominal, fee of $50, $75 service call fee. So that's the other things that we like to do, and, leave some of the concerns that buyers do have.
Yeah. I think a lot of it also comes down to just communication. I know when we do that home inspection and you get that report back, a lot of times that report is very scary. For the first time you've seen it, I mean, your inspector is going to go through and they're going to note with no emotion every single thing that's not perfect. And so what I've found is reviewing it ahead of time with my client, or afterwards, at least reviewing that with my clients so that they understand the things that I feel are major issues. And we can call the inspector up and go, okay, so what does this line mean when you say, there's a crack here, or there was water dripping under what sink? Can you point that out? A lot of times there will be issues with electrical. I think one of the most common things I see is either double taps or there's a wire gauge. And I am not an electrical person. I don't know what these mean, but I can help. We'll pick up the phone and we'll have those conversations to understand it's just words on the page. How concerning should that thing be that we've identified? and then asking,
Yeah,
obviously, the seller.
inspectors are very thorough when they do their job. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't want to miss anything, and they usually don't. And sometimes that can look overwhelming to a buyer.
Yeah.
And like, this house might be falling down, when in reality it's probably not falling down. It just seems the way it's written up or how they address the concern. So,
Right.
we work diligently to, make sure that those concerns are addressed to calm them down and give them the confidence to buy the house.
Yeah.
So,
One other thing that I've done when I've gotten a report from an inspection with my clients is have a repairman, whether it's an electrician or a general repairman, a roofer, whatever, a plumber, go out and give us an estimate of what these things are. Is it really an issue? Or is it just hey, it needs to be noted because it's not exactly perfect?
and it might be a
helps.
maintenance issue that needs to take place
Correct.
over and over and over again,
Right.
moving on down the line. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Caulk in the windows.
Yeah.
Little things like that they will get noted, but it might not actually be a big issue. It's just a maintenance issue that you need to be aware of so that you can take care of that on your new home when you move in.
Mm-hmm.
What's another concern that you hear?
So one that's been coming up lately for me has been neighborhood safety, and that gets asked a lot, is this neighborhood safe? And that's kind of a loaded question for a realtor, because realtors really can't answer that question.
Yeah.
My opinion of safety is much different than everybody else's opinion of safety.
It might be, yeah.
The other thing is realtors, we're not really allowed to like steer or guide, that's kind of breaking the law when, we say, yeah, the neighborhood's safe. Well, we don't know that. So,
Well, right. And it may be one that I live in and I think it's perfectly safe, but somebody may come in or you go look at so let's pretend we're Greenville County. You go look at the Greenville County Sheriff's Department to see all of the reports in that area. And there's something there I wasn't aware of, but it's in my neighborhood. You may think that it's concerning where I'm like, oh, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
So
I am very much a realtor that's a source of the source, so
exactly.
I want to be the source of the, to give you the information where you can go look up like the safety, the crime report, the sexual predator report.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you those websites to go to and find out that information for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it for you just because it's kind of crossing the line as a realtor.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And there's a lot of great websites out there to go find that information. Crime Stoppers, I think, is the one that I've used the most. I have it saved as a bookmark on my phone so I can tell clients to, hey, go check out. This is just one of the many different resources you have to see what has been going on in that area, in that neighborhood. And you can see, is it somewhere you need to be concerned with or you would be concerned with, or is it somewhere you're like, oh, those are just normal.
Yeah, and that's all stuff that we cover right up front too with people, just going through that buyer's roadmap and understanding exactly what the steps are and where we're going to guide you and get you the information that you need to feel the confidence to buy the house.
Right.
So, what else do you find that somebody's concerned with nowadays as buyers?
I think one of the other things that I get questions about is now the right time to buy? And by that, the question is really, what are the market conditions doing? Should I buy now or should I wait? So how would you respond to that?
So that's a really great question. We have the tools that make it really simple for people to understand exactly where the market is right now. And we look at trends. We do this on a daily, weekly basis, look at the market trends. We'll actually, if you find a house, we're going to hone in on that neighborhood and see exactly what is going on in that neighborhood, how many houses have sold, what they've sold for, and is that house really priced right according to what the comps are telling us? Mm-hmm. And we'll really guide people as far as, this is kind of our opinion on the price of where it should be. And we'll go from there. We'll do do some negotiation on that price and understand that we're just going to give them, ease their concern about it.
Yeah. Some of the things that we can look up are, what are prices doing? How long are houses staying on the market? Because that affects price and that affects negotiating ability for a buyer. We obviously don't have a crystal ball, so we can't see what the future is going to bring, but we can tell you what's going on right now and what we're seeing in those trends. I think
we can definitely show them some trends and where things are going and how things are going. So, so what's one of the last things, what's one of the last things that you would see out there?
I think one of the last, or that for, rounded out to number 5 concerns that I hear from buyers is once we're under contract, some of the legal documentation. How do we make sure that when I buy a house, that I'm going to get all of the legal stuff correct?
Yeah. Well, God knows that, there's a ton of paperwork in a real estate transaction.
Yes.
So.
Whether you're paying cash or you're using a mortgage. Yeah. So who do we use?
So again, we have, I'm going to give a plug out to Chris Edwards Law just simply because of the fact that they do the majority of our closings. Mm-hmm. And those people are just amazing in everything that they do. They're really on top of it. They are out in front of every issue that's possible out there. I mean, they're going to do the title search. They're going to let you know. They're going to, if it needs a survey or something like that, they're going to let you know that the property needs that. Mm-hmm. They'll take care of those issues, and they'll walk you through page by page, line by line, mm-hmm. if need be, on the documentation. They work with the lender to make sure that all the lender's documentation is in order, and they really, closing with them is, 30, 45 minutes usually. Yeah. So it's a simple process for them. They do it every day, all day long. Mm-hmm. And, there's other lawyers out there that do the same thing, but we like Edwards Law. So.
They do a great job for us. And they're great because we can call them up with a question. Yeah. And they answer the phone or respond back as soon as they can. So, I really like it.
And if a client has a question, they're more than happy to reach out to them and help them. And, they pretty much schedule everything. I give that stuff to them, and they handle it. I never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
Well, thank you for joining us today. Again, I'm Annie Nash, and this is my husband and business partner, Craig Nash, and we were with the Unleashed Advisors at eXp Realty. If you've got any comments or questions that you might have for buying a house, leave them in the comments below, or give us some ideas of things that you'd like to see in future podcasts. And we will see you next time. Look out, world. We are unleashed.